Hello again. A striking 83.9% of Ghanaians want all assembly members to be elected on a non-partisan basis. This resounding verdict has been captured in a new nationwide poll by the Institute of Economic Affairs. The survey, conducted across all 16 regions and involving more than 1,300 respondents, exposes growing public discontent with the current hybrid system of elected and appointed assembly members. It also renews momentum for far-reaching reforms for Ghana's 35-year-old decentralization framework, with more than half of respondents calling for the abolition of appointed assembly members. The findings set the stage for a national conversation on how to strengthen local governance, deepen accountability, and rebuild public confidence in the assemblies. Let's take you to Zoom right now and speak to our resource persons. But before we do that, though, let's go through the statement that has been released by IEA, and it says that first talks about election of assembly members and what really the Constitution says. So if you go to Article 42 or 248 of the 1992 Constitution, this is what it clearly states, that the candidate seeking election to a district assembly or any lower government local unit shall present him or herself to the electorate as an individual and shall not use any symbol associated with any political party. Two, a political party shall not endorse, sponsor, or offer a platform or in any way campaign for or against a candidate seeking election to a district assembly or any local government unit. And the same Constitution says President shall appoint 30% of all members of the district assembly. So what does the IEA survey say? This is the big number. 83.8% of Ghanaians prefer the non-partisan election of all assembly members. And that's the big number we're going to have a discussion on. And joining me on Zoom right now is a former administrator for NALAG and former MCE for German South, Andrews Bediako. Glad you could join us this afternoon. You've gone through this poll, this survey. Let's talk about the big number, the 83.8% of Ghanaians supporting the non-partisan election of assembly members. Is that something that came as a shock to you?
Thank you very much for having me. I think it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise to me at all. But I think as you read the Constitution, it's very clear. But the question that we must ask ourselves is that the reality on the ground? The Constitution is very clear about how the assembly members are supposed to be elected to be with us working at the assembly from the various electoral areas. As you said, after the elections, the president also has the opportunity to elect or appoint 30% of the assembly members to be added to the elected assembly members. But we must be frank ourselves. I think unless we as Ghanaians will continue to behave as ostriches. Now, the law is very clear. But is that what is happening on the ground? I will tell you no. All the assembly members in our assemblies, together with those who are appointed by the president, are partisan. That is the reality. When you get to the assembly and you want to know any political party that any particular assembly member is coming from, you just talk to the technocrats at the assembly. They will tell you all the political parties these assembly members are coming from. Besides, yes, that is the fact. Besides, during these elections, all the political parties, especially the MPP and NDC, run primaries at these electoral areas to elect people who represent them during the elections. That is what is happening.
But not on party colors, though, do they? Do they make it that open?
Colors, even sometimes you see a poster of an assembly member or somebody who is seeking position, then you clearly see that this person belongs to this political party. Meanwhile, the law does not permit that. Sometimes the electoral commission will come in and punish some people, disqualify some people, but clearly that is not what is happening on the ground. We must be frank ourselves. I am for the elections of these people based on political lines, because that is the reality on the ground. The Constitution as we have now, we are not going by what the Constitution says. Why is it that political parties will run primaries at the electoral area? Sometimes, even when I was working at NALAC as an administrator, let me give you this example. we try as much as possible to promote women into our decentralization.
Okay.
So we had an advantage of selecting some people, especially women, who want to go to the assemblies. We trained them. We wanted to support them. Immediately, you call them that we wanted to support them with some funds that will help them to do their posters and all those things. You call them later and they'll tell you, oh, boss, my party said I should step down for the man to go. Other than that, we are going to lose the electoral area to either MPP or NDC. So that is the reality. Anybody who tells me, now the people think that that is the way to go. But when you get to the ground, my brother, I'm telling you, the reality is that the elections over there is MPP and NDC. That's the reality.
And is this, as you rightly mentioned, it appears that this is an open secret that everybody is aware of. Then why do you think both parties, both major parties, the NDC and the MPP, have not come to a consensus that it's about time we really looked at our constitution and make sure that the election of assembly members is done on partisan basis? Why do you think they've not done that?
Yeah, that is the hypocrisy of our politics, my brother. That's the hypocrisy of our politics. Now, the question that I'm asking myself is that, or I'm asking Ghanaians is that, why is it that immediately after these assembly elections, MPP will organize a press conference, then tell you the number of assembly members that they had. Then NDC also come organize press conference, then they'll also tell you, oh, we had more members at the assembly level than the MPP. It becomes a banter. So if it is non-partisan as we claim, why would these major two political parties will do that? So it is about time that we build a consensus. Now, we were involved in a training, if you remember 2018, that the former president wanted to have election of MNDC based on partisan lines, and
right.
All the political parties came to build a consensus that that was the way to go. So we started the training. We did that of Ashanti region, Bono, then Bono Ahafo, then Western region, Eastern region. As we were moving to Volta region, wherever we had been, the people accepted it in good faith. But when we were on our way to Volta region, that afternoon, there was a press conference by the NDC that they are no more supporting that election. Then the president then had no option than to withdraw. Because there is no way you can have a referendum in this country and an NPP or an NDC, one party will say, I will not take part, and you meet the threshold. It is not possible. So when NDC said we are no more participating, but the interesting aspect is that by then, the current Speaker of Parliament was in Parliament as a minority leader. Then, after the elections, or after everything that has been boycotted, he wanted to become the Speaker of Parliament. We went to Parliament to visit him, paid a visit to him, and he accepted that that is the way to go. The elections of the assemblies and the MNDC should be partisan basis, because that is what is currently happening across the world. So what is accepted in Ghana? Go to South Africa, go to Uganda. Uganda borrowed decentralization from Ghana. But now their local elections is partisan. So what is happening in Ghana? Only that we are trying to be, as I said, maybe we will continue to be behave as ostriches. That we will always use the constitution to defend ourselves, that the elections is non-partisan. Even the 30% that people are talking about, I don't know if you will come there. The 30% that the president has the opportunity, or the president have the opportunity to appoint. And the law is very clear. The president should do that in consultation with the traditional authorities and interest groups within the district or the municipality. During such appointments, the DC, together with the party executives, will sit, then decide whoever they will even bring from the traditional area. When you send that, even that opportunity to the traditional authorities, Nanano will look at somebody from within their own traditional area who is aligned with the government in power before they will send him to the assembly. So why are we tackling ourselves and we'll be laughing? So all these people who the law says that the president should do the 30% in consultation, that system has been abused over the years, both MPP and NDC. Look, this is something that we use to pacify the full soldiers immediately after the elections, that they will know that we are going to have government appointees. You hear people fighting over government appointees, and always it is coming from the ruling government. So they use that one to satisfy the full soldiers. Per the law or the framers of the constitution, I think they envisage that because of the elections, the assembly will always need people who are technical. So after the elections, maybe we need somebody who has a background in education. We need somebody who has a background in economics, so that that person can be appointed by the president for him to be part of the assembly. So when it comes to the issues of agric and all, that person will bring his idea so that but the political parties will not agree.
Right.
If you don't belong to the political party, they will never appoint you as a government appointee. So we are just taking it ourselves.
All right, Mr. Andrew Bediako, thank you very much for the insight you brought to our show this afternoon. He's a former administrator of the National Association of Local Authorities of Ghana, also known as NALAG, and a former MCE for German South.